Hey, yo, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Hey, winter is officially here, at least along the Rocky Mountains. We've got snow on the ground, had a little bit of snow the last couple days, nothing too bad, but it got me thinking about how I use the Tacoma and what type of Tacoma owner am I. So, what are the different types of Tacoma owners? That's what we're going to explore today. Let's go. Out for a little bit of a drive. It's actually nice and sunny, pretty bright out. Gonna go wash off the truck. Driving around last night with the snow, saw the trucks out dropping the salt to melt it. So I want to hit the car wash, get that salt, especially under the carriage, off as soon as possible. But as I thought about snow coming and having a Tacoma, it got me thinking about what type of a Tacoma owner am I? I got my 2021 Toyota TRD off-road in metallic black earlier this year. So this is the first time that I've had a truck in the winter, but I think about how I've used my truck over the last few months, how I see other Tacoma owners that I know use their truck, and I started to kind of categorize people into some different Tacoma owner levels, and that's what I want to jump into, the different Toyota Tacoma owners that I see. And maybe you get an idea of which kind of a Tacoma owner are you. Late spring, early summer. So the first type of Tacoma owner that I see is the overlander. I mean, this is the bad A of all Tacoma owners. If you're going down the road and you see a Tacoma that is decked out for overlanding, you know that that is a serious Tacoma owner. I mean, the Tacoma owner that's overlanding, this is the Julius Caesar, the Napoleon, the Genghis Khan, the ruler of all rulers, in my opinion, of Tacoma owners. It's the owner I wish I was. It's just not my jam. Going out, going for 3-4 days, out roughing it, tent on top, got the lifted truck, everything about being able to bug out, get out, stay out, and survive on your own for several days. It's awesome. It's one of the best looks for the Tacoma, but it's definitely one of the biggest investments that you've got to put in for time and money when you're upgrading your Tacoma. So are you an overlander, or are you hoping to be an overlander someday, but you know it's going to take some time to build it up? I would love to be there. I just know it's not me. So after the overlander comes the off-roader, and there's some similarities here. The off-roader isn't really worried about camping and overnight and 2 or 3 days. The off-roader is worried about one thing and one thing alone, and that's boldly going where most vehicles just can't go. So all of their mods, all of their upgrades are all about off-roading. It's giving them better clearance, better tires, being able to get out of a jam. So that might mean winches. It might mean having some body armor on there to protect the rig as they're going out. But the off-roader is very specific in a type of Tacoma owner where it's all about getting off-road, and like I said, going where most trucks just can't go unless they're decked out. You know, I live 3-4 hours from Moab, Utah. Love to go down there someday. Not going to do the crazy stuff, but definitely somewhere that if you're an off-roader, you want to head to Moab, Utah. That's got to be on your bucket list. Next on my list of Tacoma owners is what I like to call the weekend warrior. You can always tell the weekend warrior by what they're hauling in the back of the truck bed. It's mountain bikes, it's dirt bikes, it's kayaks, it's paddle boards. The weekend warrior is all about getting to the weekend and going big with something outdoor adventure. They're heading up the mountains, they're heading to the lake, they're heading to a trail. When you see the weekend warrior, you know they live for the Tacoma on the weekend, to haul their gear in the back, to get them somewhere, to have an adventure that they couldn't do if they were just driving a regular old car. You know, the weekend warriors, they're out and about in their Tacoma, but it's all about what they're hauling in the back and the adventures they're going to take with it. The next category of Tacoma owner is the one that I think that I fall into, and that's the weekender. And the weekender is different than the weekend warrior. The weekend warrior is all about adventure and where they can go and what they can haul and how they can get there in their Tacoma. The weekender is about using the truck for truck stuff on the weekend. It's hitting the Home Depot or the Lowe's, doing the DIY project, it's hauling stuff, it's helping people move, it's buying stuff on Facebook Marketplace that your wife probably bought, not you, but you got to go pick it up in the Tacoma. It's hauling stuff to do your landscaping. It's all the stuff that you got to do around the house on the weekend that you need the Tacoma for. It's when you use the truck like a truck, not just for your daily driving, but actually use it for what trucks were meant to use. But actually using it for what trucks were meant to be used for. That's what the weekender is. And again, most of the time, that's where I kind of find myself, is being the weekender. Living for the weekend to go and do stuff with my truck, haul stuff, be able to do things that I just couldn't do before when I was driving a car. Okay, the truck is washed. Use that undercarriage spray to get the salt off the bottom. Really got to make sure to take care of that Tacoma frame. It's known for rust if you're not careful, and in the area I live in, with as much salt as they dump, something I got to make sure of. And I don't have any lights or mods, roof racks, anything like that on my Tacoma currently that I'm worried about going through an automatic car wash. So do that a couple times a month, if not weekly, just taking advantage of the fact that I don't have any mods on it that I can do that. Hey, before I get to the last two type of Tacoma owners, at least as I see them, go ahead and like this video. It really helps the algorithm, tells me what kind of videos to make for you guys. Hit subscribe. The majority of my viewers still aren't subscribers. Hit subscribe. Really working on doing weekly content, talking about trucks, Tacomas, adventures, all that kind of stuff. That's enough of that. Hit like, hit subscribe. Let's jump into the next type of Tacoma owner. The next Tacoma owner is the mod monster. It's all about mods, mods, mods. And I get this bug. I'll be honest, I kind of bounce between mod monster and the weekender, back and forth depending on kind of what mood I'm in that week or that day. But the mod monster, it's all about the mods, the look, the feel, customization, which is one of the great things about the Tacoma, is there are so many mods available from so many great companies out there. There's so much you can do to personalize your Tacoma to make it part of you. There's a lot of great YouTube channels out there talking about mods and installs and reviews and product reviews for mods. It's one of the best things about the Tacoma, but you definitely know when there's a mod monster out there where that is 100% the focus of their Tacoma. Before I get to the last one, there's a bonus one that I've been thinking about, and this is something me and my buddies call Chuck in the Truck. And this is usually the work guy, right? It's the construction guy. It's the work guy that needs it for work. They may or may not actually haul it for work, but it's kind of what you got to do to fit in. Usually they don't need to overcompensate with the full-size truck. They like the look, the reliability of the Tacoma. Chuck in a truck is definitely a type of Tacoma owner. It's usually more about practical, own it for the job, or because that's just what you do. You got to have a truck if you're in that industry. And the last type of Tacoma owner is the mall crawler. Now, I'm going to be honest, I hate that term. Even if I had a Tacoma and I didn't use it for anything, I can't even think of the last time I went to the mall. It's been a long time since I went to the mall. But the mall crawler is kind of your average everyday Joe driver. It's your daily driver. You're not worried about upgrading it, modding it, changing it, hauling stuff. None of that. You're really just using it to have a truck. You like the stock Tacoma as is, and there's nothing wrong with that. Joe driver, the Tacoma is a perfect truck. And in all honesty, it's where a lot of people lie when they first get their Tacoma. They're just like, I just want a Tacoma. It's reliable. It holds its value. I like the look, and I need it for a daily driver. Now, sometimes you get it, and then you start thinking about, well, maybe I can do mods, or maybe I can start hauling stuff. Maybe I can pick up some extra hobbies on the weekend. And you end up moving into those other categories sometimes. But the mall crawler, as a lot of people call them, or just your Joe everyday driver, is probably one of the biggest categories of Tacoma owner that's out there. Take just a second to comment below and tell me what type of a Tacoma owner are you. Do you fit into one of these categories that I mentioned? And if not, what's a category that maybe I missed? Again, I think for the most part, I'm the weekender. Love when the weekend rolls around. It always seems like I've got a to-do list to do with my Tacoma, but I do like the mods. I've got a bunch of mods that I'm thinking about. Hopefully going to get some mods for Christmas, and going to be, maybe leaning over to that mod monster side a little bit more. We'll see. Hey, as always, thank you so much for making it this far in the video. Thank you for support of the channel. Hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, peace out.